I dare say our first ever poetry feature night went very well. We were very happy. Everybody here at Momentary Genius crushed it. Really nice opener.
We had Dana, we had Liz, we had Rome, we had Kate Swish, we had CJ drove all the way out here from Philadelphia, and they all absolutely crushed it on our first ever poetry night.
And so what you're about to see took place during Poetry Month of 2025 in Toms River, New Jersey. And at the time, probably about 30 miles away from one of the largest wildfires ever seen in the state.
But we're going to talk about poetry.
So enjoy. We're so proud of everybody that came out. It was such a great thing. We really hope to keep doing these in the future. And you're going to love it.
So check it out. Know about it.
See you in a little bit.
Bye.
I guess.
Okay. All right, out here with Liz, one of the features. What's going on, Liz?
Hey, absolutely nothing. That's not a microphone. That is a phone.
It functions. What was that last word?
Phone.
Phone? Yeah, phone. Liz, when and why did you get into poetry?
I have been writing poetry since I was at least in first grade. Why? God knows.
It chose you.
Stop. I want it to stop. Can you make it stop? Please make it stop.
No more poetry, please. Is your favorite poem by your favorite poet?
Ooh, that's really hard. I love Mary Oliver, but if I have to pick one singular poem, I think that would be First Incarnation by Bryn Saito.
Okay. I don't know it, but it sounds cool.
Oh, she's amazing.
I'm classless and poorly read, if you couldn't tell.
Hey, me too.
If you could be a vampire, would you?
Depends on the caveat. Can I be a daywalker? Is it going to be sexy, or am I going to be like leathery with Batwing?
So I'm going to go with you are who you are.
Yes.
And then you would have to convert to vampirism. You would have been born. Daywalkers are born, not made, right?
Yeah. Okay. I don't know. It depends.
Right. If you could do anything in the world and then immediately undo it, what would it be?
Ooh. I can't answer this on camera.
Oh, I got dogmatics here. Fuck yeah. Sorry. Cut that, future Christian. Okay. All right. Pearly gates, end of days, whatever. You get the answer to one question. What would it be?
What's the point?
You gonna crush it tonight?
I don't know.
I believe in you.
You tell me.
Yes.
Okay. That's the answer then.
Thank you.
I think I've been saying that I have known Christian for 10 years for like the last 2 years. But like now it's actually coming up on 10 years that I've known him, and just want to express some gratitude because he is always creating spaces for artists, and the open mic is really special. I feel like I look out and I see a lot of the same faces that we see every month, and I think we all know the reason, because this is a true community, and it's really beautiful what you do and how you lift other people up, and it's a very like not selfish thing.
It's all Sam.
No.
And Sam too, of course. It wouldn't exist without Sam, but yeah, just very grateful to know you and that you're doing. Up first, a poem called Ode to Nature, and I wrote this gratitude poem because I was thinking about how we're often really grateful for things that get used up, or where there's this kind of exchange that is maybe not reciprocal, and we're grateful, but doesn't mean we're going to stop. And so this is an ode to nature. If you could have a body, I'd sit atop your chest, knees pressed into your shoulder pads, while I finger the gold and glittering chain, trailing from my fist in 1,000 teardrops to wrap tightly around your throat. If I could kiss that mouth, I imagine 100 variations. First, the benediction, an uttered prayer that in short, sharp yanks pulls the tingle at the base of my spine to land in humid bursts of honey against your parted lips. Stepping backwards to the invocation, we begin with appreciation, an appeal for you to yield. Upon resistance, the savaging, a greedy consumption of plump flesh with sharp and hungry teeth. I devour you. Far away, there could be chance to stop or slow down. Not from you. The sounds you make are not from any language. From my mind, or perhaps a crowd watching. But pleasure and profit push the noise down. All I can hear is my heartbeat. The calls to worship you fade into nothing. A void of you I can fall into, so that you are always wrapped around me. If I could shape you into any form, I'd hammer you into a circle, like the lens through which I watch you, capture you, trussed up and pretty, or fucked up and roaming down a hallway lined with portraits of your visage, surrounded by gilded frames, every stroke a choice belonging to anyone but you. If I could own you, and I do, I'd separate each part of you for function, divide you for sport, play, frolic, reap, and after the wasting, sometimes just sit and think of how I miss you. Before this was you, back when I was a wild thing too. The truth is, if I could stare into your eyes, pale as an absolution, wide, unblinking, ancient, weeping, seeking a start to some trite, transformational love story, soul-deep smut with spurts of rooted rapture, I'd see us staring back at you, devoted, hungry, so impassioned by your strange and alien divinity that we remain blind to the coalescing forms of your wrath taking urgent shape right outside our line of sight. Thank you. A wild woman, tamed, prostrate, embroiled in chains. You might raise me up within the walls of your fortress, dirt-streaked, filthy, hair a mess. Wash me, shroud me in white linen, embrace me from behind, cup your hands over my head, make me blind. Walk me to the window, strike me at the knees with a shock of steel. Whisper the new truth, then make me watch while you make the world burn. You stuff the ashes into my mouth until I lick your digits clean. Victorious, you'll take me as your bride. The stubborn parts are gone now, though they tried to hide, you ran them to ground, put a bullet in their brain. I looked on, numb, no longer begging, as you took everything that made time turn. Now the sun scrolls across a slaughtered, hazy wasteland, and we are never parted. Our finality emerges as we are spun into one stone, paused, eternal, and cold. I suppose you know me too well.
Dana, are you excited for tonight?
Thrilled every time.
When and why did you get into poetry?
God, I've always been interested in writing, but I got into poetry probably like 2019 because I was severely depressed and needed to process my emotions. Woo! And then from there, it kind of just like never stopped and was like the best way for me to like understand what was going on in my body.
Just resonated with you.
Yeah.
Is your favorite poem by your favorite poet?
It's by me. I love myself as a writer, and I think that one of my favorite poems is something that I've written, which is Pomegranate. It's on the list tonight.
We're gonna get some pomegranate tonight. If you could become a vampire, would you?
Well, like, that means like the live forever part, which like doesn't sound ideal given how the world's been going. And also, I couldn't have garlic. No, I'd go like more werewolf.
What, right. Okay, if werewolf was an option, you'd say 100%, 100%.
Yeah. I'm making that an option.
I think, do werewolves get immortality? Check the comments.
No, this werewolf would.
If you could do anything and then immediately undo it, what would it be?
Give birth to a child.
But that's so much work. What do you want the payoff on that?
Well, because I'd be able to like do it and be like, cool, I did it, and then not have to raise one.
It just gets harder from there.
Yeah. So like, I'll have the experience, and then I'm like, bounce back.
All right. Pearly Gates question. You get there, can ask any one question and get the answer to it. What would it be?
Why? And I really hope that the answer is because.
Nice. You guys just high five.
Yeah. Like, knew it.
How you gonna do tonight?
I'm gonna kill it.
Hell yes. God bless. Dana, everybody.
About poets being brave and kind of facing vulnerability in our art. A piece that I stopped reading for a while because it made people uncomfortable is what I'm gonna start with tonight. This piece is about being sexualized, and it's called In the Worst Way. In the worst way, you remind me I have a body. Before hello has left my lips, your hands are on my skin. Sliding up my shirt, your fingertips go for my ribs. I climb my ribs like a ladder, going for my breasts and biting on my lips, not caring at all about my day. You remind me I have a body in the worst way. When I talk, your eyes trace my outline. I want to jump out of my skin when your hands are on my thighs, your mind consistently on what's in between them. You would rather me moan than hold a full conversation. In the worst way, you remind me I have a body. You remind me that to you, I am just a body, a vessel to pleasure you, to be on my knees and please you. You don't care for the passion in my personality or the fire in my eyes. You care for the passion between bed sheets and how hot I look stripped bare. You care for the curves of my waist and the dips in my spine. You care for your hand around my throat and a fistful of my hair. You remind me that you don't care about me. You care about my body in the worst possible way. This next one is one of my personal favorites. And after you have a crush and you like someone and they start to like you start to like wonder a little bit, like, am I too much? Am I too messy? Am I gonna stain them with the ugly parts of myself? So that's what this one is about, and it's called Pomegranate. I worry I'm not worth the mess. I wonder if you view opening me up and dealing with what comes as worth the effort. I wonder if the initial crack in my armor will cause you to give up if my garnet glow one day spills onto you. I wonder if you'll somehow resent me for how consuming and intricate it is to get to all of me. And by I wonder, I mean I worry. I worry I am not worth the mess. I wonder how gentle you will be when opening me up. Will you use patience and caress me, taking your time to peel back pieces of me to get to my ripe ruby heart, to cherish every seed of who I am? Or will you smash me open, claw your ways to the deepest parts of me, ravenously feeding your thirst, getting what you want as fast as you can? I wonder if you'll be angry when my garnet glow one day stains you, leaving memories of me that are not so forgiving. I wonder if you'll appreciate what I have to offer once you've opened me up, or if I'm your next piece of nourishment to be devoured and then thrown away. And by I wonder, I mean I worry. I worry I am not worth the mess. I wonder if my intricacy stops you from choosing me.
I wonder if when you hold me in your hands, there's contentment. Or maybe it's contemplation. Or maybe it's contention. I wonder if I'm too sour, too bitter at heart for you to enjoy. I wonder if I'm your favorite, the perfect pick, the one where it's worth the mess. And by I wonder, I mean I worry.
Ladies and gentlemen, Rome Wilds, everybody. Rome, how you feeling?
So good.
So, a couple of questions just to kick us off. When and why did you get into poetry?
I got into poetry because I always liked writing it, and one day back in 2019 I wrote a poem, and then I decided, hey, if I just write a poem every day, that adds joy to my day. So I started doing that, and then not long after that I had a book that I put out, because the thing is, if you write every day, you get a lot of content.
Question number 2, is your favorite poem by your favorite poet?
I am my favorite poem writer, but I don't know that I'm my favorite poet. I think that the poems that I've written, I'm like, fuck yeah. Oh, can I swear in this? I don't know. I don't have a favorite poet. There's so many incredible artists out there that every time I see something that blows my mind, I get very verklempt.
If you could become a vampire, would you?
How do you know I'm not already?
True. What are those other ones? Future Christian, cut this. Oh, okay. If you could do anything and then immediately undo it, what would it be?
Hold on, I need to think, because my brain was like, shit my pants. And I was like, no, cut that.
Cut the whole thing. Cut the whole thing.
If I could do anything and then immediately undo it, I don't know what the point of, like, for catharsis purposes?
Experimentation, catharsis, curiosity.
I don't know. I think I would want to just, like, be able to fly or something. You didn't
Like,
ask that.
so like you get like catapulted somewhere and then you just get the rewind on it?
Oh, I think maybe dying and then undying would be cool.
Right.
Does that count?
That'd be a lot though, right? You would know what's on the other side.
Yeah, well, almost died once.
And then last but not least. Oh, pearly gates. You go ahead and call it. You get the answer to any one question. What is it? Take your time.
Oh my god.
This is all gonna get cut. Don't worry about it.
Horrible. Those last two really fucking
Putting the screws to you.
I don't know. I feel like I already know.
You had it here, folks. Rumor. How you gonna do today?
I'm a fucking killer. So
Pop, pop, pop.
I got this. I'm so excited.
Thank you, Romy.
Well, this is fun. So good to be here. I have 5 pieces for you tonight, so strap in. Been incarnating here all through existence, been shedding my skins, shifting shapes, gaining distance between me and illusions I'd formed as I witnessed previous things before I held to my fitness. My soul is the light, my brain the projector. The movie that's playing is just a reflector of previous thoughts that I'd carried and held to. I've rewritten them now, so this novel is new. I'm choosing my thoughts as an editor do, directing myself as my wealth does accrue. Each corner I turn, I'll devise what is true. Each flip of the script, every turn of the page sets me to rights, cue the lights, set the stage. All of us actors in this cosmic play of infinite roles, and we cast it this way. I open myself to each new dimension and learning and growing, revise as I mention the things that I view, keep shifting their essence, rewrite as I go. I am crafting my presence. I love myself, my authentic expression, my calling, my oneness, been learning my lessons. Each table that turns, been raining down blessings and soaking in substance. I jettison reticence. Breathing each breath from the center within, I open myself and the magic begins. 3 minutes. You're playing checkers while I'm playing chess, and I'm 7 moves ahead with an ending you can't guess, but you're not meant to catch up, so just watch me flex, cause I'm running laps around you while you can't catch your breath. I'll sacrifice a pawn if it puts me on the map. Play your little games like zip, zop, zap. Improv with the realness cause the die's already cast, and you seem like you're sweating, but baby, I'm relaxed.
Give up all your pieces while I moved en passant. I could fork you in passing, but that's not what I want. Now you're castling your pieces and I'm 5 moves ahead. We call that a rookie move when you can't see what's next. A precision of division while I split up the set. I've maneuvered my positions and you're at a dead end. Now you can't move at all without going into check. I'll take your bishop's head, but I'm coming for you next. Queen comes in for the kill. Your match has been met. You're trying to deflect me, but my foot is on your neck. Queen to f8, you already sealed your fate. No moves left. This is checkmate. You should have thought ahead, because this is endgame. You thought that it is over, but I've just begun to play. They say you learn by doing, and it's true, I've done the same. Because I've been on a run-up, while you've been down a drain. I'm on an upward spiral, and I'm hitting the refrain. And now I'm on a come-up, and I live inside your brain. Yeah, that's good.
We have K-Swish here. What's going on, K-Swish?
Not too much. Just got out of work, ran down here. Looking forward to it. Always a good time.
Dedication to the game.
Yes.
So when and why did you start poetry?
I've always been interested in poetry. I don't know what started it. I think being a third generation reader is what I call it. I'm lucky to have a grandmother and a mom who always encouraged reading. My grandmother would take me to poetry readings in the summer, which was really nice. Yeah.
Is your favorite poem by your favorite poet?
Yes, it was one of the most recent ones by Stephen Dunn, who he taught at Stockton, and he had one about
Osprey Gang.
Yes. He had one about getting into trouble on Sunday afternoons. Like, that was his time that he would just get into trouble because it was that time in between everything and he didn't really have anything to do, and it was one of his later poems before he passed, so yeah.
Wow. If you could be a vampire, would you?
I think I would. I've read a lot of vampire books lately. There was one, it's Rachel Harrison, So Thirsty, and it's really about a friendship that was based in the 90s, which I'm all about. So it's like really about the relationship between these two girls, but they end up being vampires, and like it's so good.
If you could do anything and then immediately undo it, what would it be?
Be invisible maybe, but like you'd have to pick it like real carefully, like right, because if it's gonna go away right away, you're gonna have to be in a spot where like if you're doing something that you need to be invisible, right, that you don't reveal your
like rob a bank or something like that. It's like
yeah.
But then like you undo it, so you're just doing it for the thrill then, right?
Oh, so it doesn't even count. Oh.
You don't keep the money, but you definitely robbed the bank. But so Pearly Gates question. All right, you're up there. You get an answer to any one question in the world. What would it be?
Just because I am a big nerd, the life, universe, everything, even though I think I know the answer, but just to prove the point.
Dana said why, and I'm like, good question.
Yeah, that's a good one, right? Just a grand why, right?
You gonna crush it tonight?
Hopefully.
Thank you, K-Swish. Whoa.
National Poetry Month. Woo! The little dog barks somewhere in the small house, terrified of this brand new world. He is at the back door, losing his mind as a family of skunks, something I've never witnessed before, moves through my backyard along the fence as a unit, like a horrible new cryptid, all tails, and I can't make out where one ends and one begins. I try to move my wet clothes from the washer to the dryer for hours, and the little dog will not stop barking unless I come and sit on the floor with him. And I text my mother, is this what it's like to have a child? To try and fail to accomplish one task for hours and hours and hours. The poem is going to be called Shelter Cove. Standing in wet sand where beach meets the bay, early April, spring in name but not yet in temperature. Even so, I cuff my jeans up and slip out of beat-up dirty chucks. Wind turns hair into stinging whips, making me glad I wore sunglasses to protect my eyes. Choppy bay, white caps and breakers, step into pulsing tide, shock of cold drives me quickly out of the water. I sit on the sand, content to watch the bay, content in this moment of aloneness. When asked why we chose to stay, even after Hurricane Sandy drove thousands away, I think of this moment, drawn to the salty water where life began. Strange-limbed fish crawled out of the sea and breathed air for the first time. And there is still an echoed remnant of the wonder of that moment. The sea is encoded in our DNA. And if my life ended here where life began, a gentle exhale, body curling into itself like a brown leaf, it would be okay. But give me a Viking funeral, set me adrift on the water, a bright fire floating, reflecting on dark harbor as ashes and flames touch the sky. Let me burn bright and hot and then blink out, afterburn image imprinted in watching eyes. Or let me be a tree, till me into the soil, watch budding limbs return season after season, whisper to the bark, the roots underground, whatever needs to be said to me. I'll be there and I'll be listening. My organs will have been received by people greatly in need. Look for my eyes in a crowd, listen for my heart beating in a now strong chest. Don't pump me full of formaldehyde and turn me into a stuffed doll, stiff and formal. Let the birds nest in my branches. Let the gentle waves of the bay rock me to sleep one last time. My life begins and ends at the sea.
Hi, CJ.
Hi.
When and why did you get into poetry?
When? I guess in community college or possibly earlier. I don't know. I guess it all had to go somewhere.
Is your favorite poem by your favorite poet?
Right now, I guess Bluebird.
Bukowski?
Yeah.
Is Bukowski your favorite poet, though?
Right now, I've been reading The Days Run Away Over the Hills like wild horses, and I've just been stuck on that book. I've just been reading it over and over.
So it's like a phases thing. It's like today it's my favorite, but then as we go, we'll see.
Yeah, like I read, I read William Carlos Williams for a while. I was really stuck on Tomas Tranströmer. He's a Danish guy, and he writes like he's looking out his window, which I appreciate.
If you could become a vampire, would you?
Nah, no.
Why not?
Why not? I don't want to live forever.
It's the immortality, you know, like the blood feeding or anything like that.
I don't mind a little blood. I don't want to live forever.
But you can get all your friends to live forever, or the ones you trust anyway, right?
I'd have to bite them. I don't want to bite them.
If you could do anything and then immediately undo it, what would it be?
Maybe this interview.
I've always wanted to do it, but I've never done
it. Maybe bite my friends.
All right, pearly gates. All right, you get an answer to any question. What would it be?
Where did I leave my journal?
Like a writing journal?
Yeah. Where did I leave my journal? Where did I leave my hat?
Like a specific hat.
Yeah.
But the journal would be more important than the hat. It's got poetry in it, right?
Yeah.
It was a nice hat, though.
It was a nice hat. I got some new ones.
You're a fucking gem. You know that? You gonna crush it tonight?
Maybe. We'll see.
Godspeed. CJ, everybody.
Just ease into some things, and then maybe we get in some fancy regular writer things. But this is a poem called Ode to the Gardener. Through 30 years and seasons, changing, she keeps moments rooted, firm, for each new spring. The gardener lays her dirt, and red block shale homes grown and built for growing things. Could ever birth or death be represented either much too big for her two hands to hold alone? By tulip beds, the life we've rented, the scent of new perennials. I think the gardener knows her undertaking, digging earth for eager seeds in rows to capture life around her as it happens, to hold it careful, clutched, to watch it grow. This one's called Umbra. At dusk, shapes lean on brick, people crusted over curbs and medians while jittering traffic bleeds from some spiked interstate vein, and they are exposed briefly in light. Some on small signs scribble hungry. I think of you. In a storming flash, flesh still peeking icy white. In a dizzy June rain you sat, knees to chest defeated. Veins once kindling were now doused, and you rose like smoke in spires towards the sky. Your outline on the stairs burned lying colors. And once you left, the ebbing of the world was hushed, silenced, veering. Meanwhile, the earth stretches herself to dusk, where the spaces between silhouette and body grow opaque, where impervious shadow becomes God-sized in the night, where you hide your shivering, where you keep everything you used to own. One day, I will talk too hard. One day, I will raise my crooked arm, and with lanterns singing in civil twilight, I'll cast a shadow, paint you honest, dark, and dancing on the wall.
Thank you guys so much for watching. We've worked really hard on it. Poets worked really hard on it. And we think it came really well together. Please apologize if there's any jankiness in the video. That was my first ever attempt. And ideally that keeps happening. So keep an eye out for more things hopefully happening on this channel and on the Instagram. So
we're gonna tag everybody on Instagram, give them a like and follow. They definitely deserve it. We want to help grow everyone's platform, and that's kind of why we're doing the open mic too, to just keep everyone's art growing, not just on our stage, outward. So please like them, follow them, come see them at our next open mic. We will post the dates below, so check us out.
thank you guys so much. Appreciate it.
Thank you.
This is so cute. Happy Poetry Night! Thanks.
Hello. Test. Hold on. Wait.
Eating some corn.
See if we get the corn sound effects in there. There we go. Beautiful. Test concluded.
ASMR. Collaborate and listen. What are we saying?
So our first ever poetry open mic night was hold on. Sorry. I gotta take this